I hate social media.
I think everybody does.
I would say for anybody, you should market yourself. You should market your brand. You are your own brand.
First thing that I kind of regret is just like general athletic development, meaning that like I would have emphasized playing other sports aside from just judo.
Fact. Quick, impulsive decisions that I was really bad at.
A 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old trying to get into judo. But I would tell him a couple things, right? Adam, why did he do that? Like, why did he punch me? And you're like, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, different genders, different races, different ethnicities, different countries, different planets, welcome to I don't know what episode of the Start Yesterday podcast. I am your host, Puffy Got Puffy, aka Adam, aka Puffy. My last name is not relevant. I am here with a longtime friend, off and on. We went to, like, a long time ago, we went to school together. And then we fell out, and then we're back, and then here we are. But his name is Mr. Solomon. He's going to be in the Olympics soon for judo, and also trainer. And so I figured I'd ask him if he wanted to come on and we shoot the shit, and here we are.
Let's do it, man. I'm excited.
Just bring the mic closer to you, bro. There you go, it moves. All right, so basically, I guess, like, talk about your short story, bro. Like, give everybody, like, an intro, because they know about me, they don't know about you.
In what regards? Like, how I got involved in sport, or?
I don't know, you have a sob story? Like, do you ever try to, like, kill yourself, or, like, anything like that?
Every couple weeks, but nothing too frequent, right? Nothing too frequent.
No, really? So no psych ward or anything like that?
Yeah, dude, I don't know, I guess let's just make it more specific. I'll talk about how I got into judo. So, my parents would only give me healthy food, right?
What a bunch of piece of shit.
Yeah, they would only give me healthy food, so I started beating up kids in school to get, like, candy from them at lunch.
Is this serious?
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
And then one day, a kid was able to defend himself against me, and I said, never again. I said, like, never again am I going to get beat up from a kid when I'm trying to steal his candy. So I started taking up judo.
Wait, who is this kid? Do I know this kid?
Adam, I'm fucking with you.
Okay, I don't know, man.
You think I'm just beating up kids for... Maybe I should have done that. I would have got more candy.
Well, I knew the first part you weren't joking, where your parents would just have a bunch of healthy food, right?
I don't think that's true either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they gave me snacks too.
All right, so let's start over again. Give the breakdown. So, I mean, obviously, like, you went into judo, you became a trainer, we'll get into that, but what launched your interest into judo? Because I'm from the judo, you went into training and all that shit.
Yeah, so, I always liked like combat sports, right? And I started off with really boxing, actually, first.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started when I was like 10, so that would have been like grade 6.
Yeah.
Right? And I started boxing, and I wanted to get into MMA, and like slowly from there, I started getting involved in a little bit more grappling. And when I got to the level where I could compete in boxing, my parents didn't want me to do that.
Oh.
So I started focusing more on grappling, and then my gym was a little bit too far, the one that I was attending, so I ended up, Alessio actually was doing judo, right? So Alessio brought me out to that club. Yeah, shout out to Alessio. But Alessio brought me out to that club, and yeah, I've been doing judo ever since.
Yeah, so basically your parents, like, they didn't want you to get punched in the face?
Yeah, they didn't want me to. Like, in hindsight, it's kind of smart, right?
It is
like,
pretty
you don't want a 10-year-old to get getting punched on a daily basis. So, like,
so are you annoyed you didn't pursue the boxing, or I guess because you're good at judo now, who cares?
Everything happens, right?
I guess.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's better in hindsight. Yes, it's better. It's better for like a 10-year-old not to get brain damage.
Gotcha. Okay. And so then you did the judo. And go into more about that, like where you're at, what you did. You're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I think I'm alright. But for judo, let's see. I was doing it. So I started, I guess, like, because that whole boxing thing was like a 2-year thing, right?
Yeah.
So I started judo at 12. And then at first I actually was gonna quit judo. So I, like, the club that we had, that I was with Alessio at the club, we had a in my opinion, a horrible coach. I won't say his name, but he was a terrible.
You can say his name. He's not gonna listen to this shit.
I know. I won't do it. But we had a terrible coach that like was actually like, in my opinion, borderline abusive. And then
sexually or just like physically?
No, I don't.
I'm just saying.
Definitely not sexually.
That's the hour. That's the after hours podcast.
Yeah, there's levels to the extreme. It wasn't that extreme. He was just not a nice guy, not a nice person.
He'd like whip you with the stick.
Go harder. He was just a dick. All right, like he was not the nicest guy. Right.
You should have judo flipped him.
Back then, he could have. He was judo flipping me. Right. I wasn't as good as him back then. But more or less, the coach was like, he wasn't a nice guy, right? And I was gonna quit judo. And then it was just far. That was so judo was the only thing that was close to me. So every like other sport, I wanted to do jiu-jitsu back then. I wanted to do MMA, but it was just too far, right?
Yeah.
So what's it called? So yeah, sorry. So jiu-jitsu I wanted to do, but it was too far. So my parents like this was my only option. So I stuck it out. And then when it came to the time where my parents were like comfortable with me like taking public transport, I was about to quit, right? Like I had one more week left on my contract, like my judo membership, and I was going to quit. And then the coaches that I didn't like happened to get fired that week.
Oh.
Right. So then we had we had two coaches. One who great guy. I have only respect for him, but he's not involved anymore, like in judo. And my other coach, who's my coach to this day, he was the one who showed up, right? And like that day, I got hooked on the sport. So literally that week I was planning on quitting judo. And then my coach showed up and I'm like, you know what? I really like this sport. I'm going to give it another, like, because it was a month-to-month contract. I'm like, let's give it another month.
Yeah.
And after that month, I was hooked.
That's sick, dude. Everything happens in life for a reason. Right?
Yeah. And then there's obviously, like, ups and downs. It wasn't like it was, like, all linear smoothing. Like, a linear ride, right? Like, yeah.
It's like anything, right?
Yeah, like, there's injuries and everything, right?
Yeah, let's go into that. Because, bro, I genuinely, like, because for people that don't know, like, I went to elementary school with Soul. This was like, whatever, 2 decades ago, 15 years ago. We were friends, I would say. Yeah, we were friends. We were both in the sped class, right? And what's it called? Then, well, we didn't really grow apart. I didn't go to high school with him. And that's a story for another day. Not him specifically, just in general. And then through mutuals of people that I knew and he kept in touch with and kept friends with, then we saw each other again and basically became friends again.
Yeah.
Which is cool because like we were pretty tight younger, but then we grew apart just because literally like I didn't know his number. We didn't do like the Facebook shit and whatever, and I was in my own planet fucking eating myself to death. But yeah, I'm genuinely curious. Like, dude, there is a time. It was my sad reality. I was just literally trying to eat myself to death.
Yeah, we all got her.
Oh yeah, we all got. Everybody goes through those stages, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm genuinely curious. Like, tell me more about okay. So from like 10 to 12, you did the boxing thing, right? Or then you transitioned to judo.
Yeah.
And then you went to the judo. You were gonna quit. You didn't quit, thankfully, because you're now really fucking good. You have your coach. Shout out to him, whatever his name is. And then take it from there. You're like what, 15, 16 at this point, and you're doing judo really good.
Yeah. So it was again. I was doing judo. I'm like trying to like plan out my thoughts because we're talking about like a 12-year timeline right now.
We're talking about your life, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. In general, like I just stuck with this sport. Like everything, there's like its hardships, there's its good things. I stopped the sport, so I actually like stopped judo when I was 22.
Why?
Because I couldn't lift up my shoulder. So
you got fucked up.
So basically, like, so I injured my shoulder in Austria in a tournament when I was 19. Right, and then I had to get surgery on it.
Would you tear your rotator cuff?
Labrum.
Oh shit, that's
I tore it
really
mid-match.
bad. Yeah.
I tore it mid-match, right? And then
did you finish the match?
I did.
Fuck yeah, you did.
I've also like mid-match. I'm like, oh, dude, like, because I was like acting like it was hurt because it was hurting me, but I'm like, oh, I'm such a bitch, right? Yeah. Like I missed the whole time, like holding my shoulder. But I'm like, and then after, like when I get like the MRIs back, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it makes sense why I was in pain, that much pain. But yeah. So then COVID was a whole thing, right? So that takes you out, and then when I was 22, I re-injured my shoulder. And I didn't really have any mobility in it. Like, right now, I barely have any mobility in my left shoulder. But back then, like, I couldn't put my hand behind my back. That's how bad it was, right?
That's really bad.
Yeah. And then basically what got me back to the sport was my friend was running a training camp in New York, or actually New Jersey, but I happened to be in New York.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough, right? But I happened to be in New York, right? And I'm like, okay, like whatever, I'm gonna go down to this because he's running it. Like he's a good friend. I wanna train.
Do I know this guy or no?
No, you wouldn't know these guys. But yeah, so I went down to train, and that camp like got me back into the sport. Basically, I'm like, you know what? Like I want to get back into judo. Like even if I only train twice a week or something, like I'm gonna get back, right? So then, so this is, let's say that would have been the summer of last year, right? So then I started competing. I started training again, and I wanted to get, like, I always had the plan to get back into judo, right? Mm-hmm. But in practicality, if you can't lift up your shoulder, right, and like this is as high as my shoulder goes, right?
Really?
And and that's better than it was. It used to be up to here.
Dude, that's crazy.
So like, in practicality, it was really hard, and like I was doing good at tournaments for at least for compared to my previous results, but I just wasn't happy because like I just can't. Even still, I can't do what I normally would like to do. Right, I have to modify everything. But like then it was more so, right?
Yeah.
Partially not just because of the injury, but like also just getting used to competing without a shoulder. But I talked to my coaches and they said like stick it out. So then I competed last season, right? And then I had my best result where I won the Quebec Open, which for a while I would say is the toughest tournament in North America. But I will say now it's probably realistically the year I won it's a second because there's a tournament called the Canada Cup. So then the following week is actually the Canada Cup. So after I won Quebec, I'm like barely training at all. Like, but I'm starting to get back into it at my best result. And then what's it called? So then the following week is Canada Cup, and I was really excited. Yeah. But second round, so I beat Denmark first round.
Fuck you, Denmark.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but the kid's a nice kid.
I can do whatever I want. It's my podcast.
That's fair. But second round, I injured my knee. Like I tore not fully, but a second degree ACL tear.
Oh, wonderful.
Medial meniscus tear, and then an MCL tear as well.
Oh,
yeah. But actually, the MCL tear was only first degree. So that was the whole struggle, and then I came back competing 5 months later. Felt terrible at first, and then we had the nationals in May though. So I ended up competing up. I usually compete 73 kilograms, so I competed 81 kilograms. So I took I took a bronze there.
Yeah.
And my day started terrible. So it was actually the same venue as the Canada Cup, right? And that, it's the same venue, sorry. In my first round, I go up against a guy and I lose my first match in like 20 seconds.
That's really bad, right?
Yeah, very bad, right? And I thought I heard my knee pop, like the exact same pop that I did when I did. I'm like, no freaking way. I'm like, did I just break my leg again? And like, I'm supposed to like working the next day, right? All that stuff. And anyways, sorry, yeah. Like after I'm like, oh, I'm like moving my knee and I'm like, oh, this like, it's just a pop. It doesn't hurt, right? Like doesn't hurt at all. So then I was able to like get my state back together, right? I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm not hurt. Like kind of sucks because I wanted to win. And then I won, like, took one match at a time, won my next 5, took a bronze, right? So that was my last judo tournament. And now, again, there's a big process to qualifying for the Olympics, right? And me personally, one thing that I started doing instead of focusing on, and I think you could talk about this, like, this could lead to a conversation about personal training. Because you mentioned the Olympics earlier, like, I'm going to go to the Olympics. Like, I don't even think about the Olympics, right? Like, I think about, like, more goals that are in front of me,
realistic
right? So,
expectations.
Yeah, but it's not realistic. Like I'll be, because let's say you have a client that wants like 350 pounds, they want to lose 150 pounds, right? So it's like, okay, that's a great goal, and let's say that's the weight you're going to look at best at, and let's say it's a doable goal. It's a hard goal, but it's a very doable goal, right? But then it's like, okay, that's their goal to lose 150 pounds, but let's focus on the first 10 pounds.
100%.
Right? So with judo right now, I do like, what I like to do is just like one thing at a time, right? So like, let's say if I qualify for Olympics, and that would be my goal, of course, right? But that's 4 years from now, right? So I don't even like talk about it, right? Like I don't mention it. So right now, my next goal is I'm hoping to go to Europe in October.
Awesome.
And do well in a European Cup, right? So there's like European Cups. Well, sorry, actually it would be a World Cup. So there's World Cups, then there's Grand Prix or Grand Slams, the World Championships, right? So this is a couple levels below. It's still very tough, right? If I do well there, it would be my biggest result.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm focused on right now.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah. So in general, like, I guess currently, like, I don't know if I did a bad job explaining.
No,
like, I know
that's pretty solid. That's a good enough analogy. And
but,
like, is there like a ranking? Are you ranked? I don't know how the fuck that works.
So I don't compete that much internationally compared to like I don't compete that much compared to the other guys. So I got to change that. So with judo too, it's a self-funded sport, right? So I have to work.
Fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to work, find sponsors, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'm on social media, like finding clients, right?
I thought you were gonna say why you're on this podcast.
I'm here for my boy. Right?
No, I was gonna. No, I know what you're saying. Because you don't. You're like a guy like similar to me. Well, in a way, like I hate social media.
I think everybody does.
No, there are people that live off this shit. They're narcissists.
Yeah,
they crave attention.
That's what it. But then you're like a person. You probably have like psycho problems, right? Like,
yeah, but you're literally only on socials because you're looking for sponsors and shit, right?
Yeah, and building clients, right? Doing privates, right? Like it's a business, right? Like I hate it, but it's like
it's necessary evil.
Yeah. So my ranking, like I would have to pull up the list, but as far as senior ranking goes, right? Like the adult ranking, probably like 7 in Canada, 6, maybe 8. Like I don't know. I'd have to check. I'd have to look at it.
How do I check it?
It would take a whole list, man. You'd have to go to Judo Canada, High Performance, and go to national team, then find the weight division.
I'm trying to Google this shit. I'm on Solomon Chorin International Judo Federation.
No, that wouldn't be on it. You would have
to. What about judoka?
It would be like
all right, so you're top 10 in Canada.
Yeah, but that would I wouldn't say is nowhere where I need to be, right? So, but the first step though. But again, I could be like, this goes back to it. I could be like, oh my gosh, this is my ranking, yada yada. Or here's like, let's go. Like one tournament could change that, right? Or 2 tournaments, whatever, right?
I'm putting your shit on the screen.
Respects.
There you go. His Instagram. If for anyone who's listening on audio, his Instagram. I put the Instagram on the TV now. Solomon Chorin. That's literally his Instagram name. It's just his first name and his last name. I'll put this shit in the
something more creative, right?
Honestly, no, bro. It should just be like. I mean, Puffy got Buffy. That's like an entity
cool name.
of. Thank you. It's an entity of within myself, right? But I would say for anybody, you should market yourself. You should market your brand. You are your own brand. You're on your own image. The only issue with that is, God forbid, you do something stupid. You're fucked. Right, but
I think I'm pretty like. This would be, I think, the most dangerous I did coming on here because let's see what happens.
No, but the beauty is there is the beauty of editing, right? I wouldn't stress too much about that. If we talk about like Hitler or something, like we.
That's not the best.
So, I liked how we were going on that topic though. So we kind of talked about your story. Right now, you're like top 10 in Canada, and you're gonna focus on doing more and getting better with the judo, right?
And just one step at a time, and don't like freak myself out about the Olympics. Like
no, and dude, I say that because I'm proud as a friend to say that. I'm not trying to put
no, but I'm just saying in general, like that's my mind, like,
and that's how it should be. And like I'm not trying to put like extra fucking pressure on it, right? I just think it's like genuinely like I love like hyping up and like I love hyping up like friends, you know what I mean? It's like it's a fucking cool thing to say. Like I have a buddy who's really good at fucking judo. He might go to the Olympics, right? But like I'm not trying to put any like extra pressure or stress on you, but it's a very valid point what you were saying with realistic expectations. Right?
And I don't mind like in general, like I guess it's kind of like segueing to another topic, but if like a lot of people like in sports or personal training, they might be like. They might give there's such thing as an impossible expectation, but there's some things that are like unrealistic, but they are possible. It's like if you have that unrealistic expectation and like you're serious about it, go for it. But let's focus on the first step, right? Like you want to squat 450 pounds. Okay, fine. That's your goal. That's a great goal. That's a high goal.
It's a ridiculously high goal.
Yeah. My best is my best is 200 kg. High bar. It's on there. It's on the Instagram. If you go scroll down, like to the beginning. No, I don't know if it'd be a reel.
Would it not be a reel?
I don't know.
Bro, your shit's popping off. Look at you. You got your little social media fucking judo influencer.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, I know. It's so funny. You're just fucking. Is it this one?
No. That's
like all the way
That
down?
was right after my knee injury.
Okay.
So that would
this could take a while, eh?
There we go. One.
This one or this one?
There you go. That's what you're on.
I don't think we have the audio here, but yeah, we're watching a video right now. This is my squat from my intensity day. I did singles programs. He did a 440, which is 15 plus pound up from his PR. And for record, dude, that's smooth. You could have gotten a double.
I know, dude. I was.
Dude, you could have gotten a
that
double.
was my like prime lifting day, man.
Bro,
like that was
fucked.
during COVID, man.
That's fuck. You look hulky. Like you look bulky as fuck.
I was like 185 there.
I was gonna say. So even still at 185, that's over double body weight. That's solid as fuck. You could have pushed that for a double. Easy.
Dude, I would be a great power lifter, I think.
With your build, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But like,
I hate it. I hate powerlifting. I hate lifting.
I mean, but I was gonna say with your shoulder, it's fucked. There's your
but I don't have any problems benching.
Really?
Low bar squat. I wouldn't be able to do a low bar squat anymore
because of the mobility, right?
But I think I can make up for it with a high bar, like a solid high bar.
Yeah,
right?
I've never been able to actually hold a barbell to squat in my life.
Yeah,
my pec minor's always been fucked. I can't hold it comfortably.
Yeah, maybe like it would have to be a safety bar for you, right?
I like safety bars. I like Swiss bars, or I like safety bars. Like
that's
if I'm doing a barbell squat, it has to be safety bar. Or I'll take like a barbell and I'll put like handles on it so I can hold it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll
turn it into like a neutral grip basically, or straps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you're strong. That's solid. What's your top? You do overhead pressing? Probably not because of your shoulder, right?
So I never had great mobility, so I feel like you could call it cheating. Like I'd have to pull up the rep, but I never like did it like this isn't a push press, but like my chest, I was a little bit more like extended, right? Like extension with my back. But the most I did was at like probably 80 body weight, a 195 press.
That's fucking solid. Yeah. That's
my numbers like when they're not like lifting, like partially because of my like body type, right? But like I don't.
You have a good build for powerlifting. Like 5, you're like 5'7", 5'8", right?
No, 5'5".
You're 5'5"?
No, probably 5'6", but
you're 5'6". Come on, round up.
I'm 5'6".
On the dating apps, you put 6 feet, right?
6'7".
6.
That's what I identify as 6'7", right?
I identify as an 8-foot male.
Yeah, exactly.
My pronouns are shit and it. You have to refer to me as a literal piece of shit, little garbage. How did we get on here? So yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of like we went over your breakdown, where you're at in present terms, basically.
No, but we're talking about like
realistic expectations.
Yeah, but it's not even realistic. Like have your expectation of whatever your goal is, right? But then let's focus instead of being like caught up in like the fantasy. I don't want to call it a fantasy, but the end result, right? Let's focus on what's right in front of us, right? So that goal is good to keep you motivated. Right, but let's focus on what's like right in front of us. Like, okay, your goal is to squat 440, but let's get to 225 first, right? And let's focus on the workouts that we have to do to get to that, right? It's okay to have that in the back of your mind, like be ambitious, right? But like, I think getting caught up in the end goal is a little bit like a lot of people like they could get discouraged, right? Being like, well, I want to squat 450, but I'm only squatting 225. But it's like, dude, that's a 75 a pound improvement from where we started, right? So I think focusing on the end a lot of the times isn't the best thing.
I think it helps some people.
Yeah.
I think some people are so dead set. Like for example, for me, like I was so dead set on accomplishing like the goal that I had. Like my original first goal was to get from a 5XL t-shirt to a XX, simply so I could shop in Canada. Right? Because I mean. Anybody who's big watching this in Canada, like I know the struggle. Like you probably you're either getting shit imported from Canada or America, or you're going to George Richards, which if you don't know what George Richards is basically just like a big and tall store, right? It's a store designed for tall people or fat people or both, right? So that was my first goal, and then once I did that, I was so dead set on like getting to that magical number of like once I hit the second goal of like losing the 100 pounds, then I was so dead set on losing the 150 pounds, and so I basically like just completely changed my entire life to get to that point. But I think I'm an anomaly where it's like it's black and white. There's no gray. Some people like they have this dead set goal of it could be 50 pounds, it could be 100 pounds, it could be 20 pounds. And because they don't get results within like a month, they're done. They give up.
Yeah.
Right. And so what you're saying on that point with like, it's like the analogy I always say with like the Finding Dory gif or just Finding Dory, just keep swimming. You just have to get a slightly better every single day. And you don't even, maybe not even like better, a better you could literally just be fucking consistency.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be like, because it could be too much to ask for you to literally do 1% better every day. And I know that sounds like a crazy concept, but like, you know, if you're struggling with getting 2,000 steps in every day, and for me to tell you, okay, well now go do 2,200, maybe that's not what you need. You just need to go and do 2,000 every single day.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Well, it's like the same thing. Like if you look at logs when you're lifting, it's like you're not adding, especially after the beginner phase, you're not adding like 5 pounds of workout to your squat. Like you're lucky to do that 5 pounds every 2 weeks, right? And then even that, and then eventually there comes a point where it's 5 pounds a month, or whatever.
Or you like micro plates for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it's like you going to the gym might be like a win, right? Like that is a win. Like
no, that is a win.
You need those like light stimulus workouts, and you're like. You see this all the time in the gym. I see it all the time, man. Good Life was the worst place for this, but you see people like go to the gym and they're like, for some reason they're putting on a performance when other people, they don't care, they're doing their workout, but it's like, I need to be squatting the most weight in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do quarter reps and stuff like that. Like I'm a 400-pound squatter. Like what? There'll be days I'll squat 400 pounds, and then the next day I'm squatting 250 just to get some stimulus.
You're just doing it for you. You're not doing it for anyone else. I think
but that 250 is important too. You need to like get some like stimulus in. You get and maybe I'm tired the day before, so like you know what I mean. Like I'm burnt out now.
Well, I would be squatting back-to-back days to begin with.
No, I never do that too. But you get the point. Like you have a heavy day, you have a light day. It's not. I'm not putting on a performance every single day.
I would say, what's it called when. On the what we were saying on the squatting part, or no, with
and I just use that as an example.
With the people at Good Life. I mean, I think actually LA Fitness is worse than Good Life.
I don't go to that many box gyms, but like
no, but I've seen like just on the internet, like I think LA Fitness is like a breeding ground for like douchebags or ego lifters, right? And I'm not saying Good Life's not guilty of it. I just think more people do it at LA Fitness, but it's not, nobody else gives a shit what you're doing at the gym.
Yeah.
The only caveat to that, genuinely, is if you're a super jacked, roided out guy, or maybe not roided out, and you're doing a 315 bench press or a really heavy bench press, you're probably bound to have some people look at you. But they're not looking at you as in disgust. They're looking at you in admiration and inspiration.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the only caveat. If you're a 400-pound person at the gym, unless you're fucking gonna scream like a dying walrus, right? Nobody's gonna give a shit that you're walking on a treadmill. Right, it's just you're in your own head about it because you're insecure and you're not confident.
Yeah.
Right, and I mean I could relate to that as a big guy who went to the gym. I thought everybody was staring at me. They kind of were, but I also wasn't doing myself any favors. I had a fucking purple man bun. Right, I'm fucking 370 walking around with a purple man bun. So yeah, no shit. But then it was also like, you know, some people are just staring at you like almost by accident. Like they're just on the treadmill listening to music. Like, what else are they gonna do? They're not gonna close their eyes.
Yeah.
Right. I think people just make too much shit up in their head. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess is there anything we talked about your lifts? Is there anything in terms of like maybe we can transition to like I guess where you're at with the training, right? So you do the judo, you still do the judo, you do a lot of coaching for judo, right?
Yeah.
But I guess you also do some like private training, right?
Yeah, so mostly what I do, and there's a couple things going on like outside, but like I'll talk like specifically about coaching. So mostly what I do is like I coach a bit online, not too much, but like a little bit. I do mostly then some judo privates, and I would say, so this is the reason why I got into jiu-jitsu, right? Jiu-jitsu is far more popular in Canada than judo, so it's easier to find more
clients,
more privates, right, like stuff like that. And then I personal train a bit online a little bit. I haven't been in Toronto too much, but when I'm in here for a long period of time, I do train people out of my house.
Yeah.
So
you worked at Good Life for a bit, right?
That was a while, yeah.
Yeah,
that was a while, yeah.
You like it or you don't like it?
I really liked my fitness manager.
That's a shocker. You're the first person to
I really liked him. I actually talked to him not too long ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't the right fit for me.
What, a Good Life or just in general? Like
Good Life.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much not the right fit for anyone, really.
Yeah. But I did like, I respect him, man. I think he likes training. I think he's good at business, right? I think he was just a good guy to work for, right? Like, not an ego.
That's actually really
But I wasn't there that long, too, right? But
you were there for, like, what, 6 months?
No, not even. Because COVID happened, right? So it was, like, kind of...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I didn't really come back after the break.
I did. Well, we were at different locations. I wish I was at your location because I don't hate my FM now. I did back then. He was like super corporate and just all about numbers, and like we talked before. It's like they didn't help me at all.
No, this guy
they helped you with like the
other day
I
was like I was just talking to I forget, but like my FM, like because he's more, I would say, an experienced trainer than I am, at least especially like from the business side.
Yeah, definitely.
and like he gave me he was kind enough to give me a call the other day. Yeah, so definitely like the company itself wasn't the right fit. The experience I had with the colleagues are completely fine.
So is there any, like, I guess, significant or specific milestones or achievements you've had in your career so far, either like with judo or training, that you're proud of?
Training or judo that I'm proud of. Okay, so I guess I'll go to judo after, but let's go to training. Or should I go to judo first and then training?
Whatever you want, bro. There's no rules.
Okay, so judo. This wasn't my best result, but I think it's the proudest moment I've ever had in judo. Was so before the camp. So like, remember I told you I went to that camp that my friend was running. That would have been like
In
June,
New York, yeah.
Yeah, June, July 2023. In May 2023, for some reason, I decided to compete the Canadian Nationals in judo, right? So I already stopped judo at this point. And the reason why I stopped judo was never that I hated judo or something. It was because I couldn't lift up my fucking shoulder, right? And like, now I can't lift up my shoulder. Back then, like, dude, so 2 weeks before the tournament, man, like I couldn't, like, it hurt to walk, and this isn't an exaggeration. Like, I actually had impinging pain, like, walking sometimes.
That's not good.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I got some rehab done, that helped it out a little bit. Like I down the road I got better rehab, but I had some to the point where I could like walk without experiencing impinging pain, right? And so I go to the tournament, and I'm competing at nationals, and I have my first round, and I lose to a guy that I probably shouldn't have lost if I was not even without the injury. Like, I shouldn't lose in general, with my injury. And the day started off terrible, so I'm like 0-1. But after, again, I'm like, you know what? Like, whatever it is, what it is. Like, just keep on. Like, it's not like I'm gonna pull out of the tournament. So I like just took one match at a time. I ended up winning my next 4 matches, and then I lost the bronze medal, unfortunately. And now this was in judo. There's so many rules, man. It's like, but like, bad rules. Like you get disqualified for anything. And basically what I did was I hooked my opponent's leg, like I entwined the leg, and I got disqualified from the tournament from that. So technically I had a 5th at the nationals, but if you look at the draw sheets, my name is crossed out.
Oh, that's not good.
So, but to me, even though like that day started off like awful, but then just like the context of that day, and I've gotten better results at the nationals before that day. That to me probably is my proudest day, because it's like, dude, like I genuinely was in pain walking before that with my shoulder, and then them to be able to like start off the day terrible, and then to have like the day ended up going horrible, and then because I got disqualified. It wasn't like I just lost, I got disqualified. But like, to me, that day means a lot.
No, it's mental discipline, it's mental toughness, and that's what makes...
So that was the best day. The second day, and this day isn't as special to me, but Quebec Open. So, and again, like, I talked about this briefly, like, it's the biggest tournament in North America, but the tournaments, like, there's World Cups, there's a lot bigger stuff that, for me to reach my goals, I have to do, right? So this is just one step of many, but the first time I went to Quebec Open was, like, when I was U16, and so under 16.
Really? Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I went 2-2 that day. Now, I won the tournament, to be fair, as an under 18 player, but the real thing is always the adults, right? Like senior males, right? Like, that's the real thing. And then, so it took me 10 years to do it, but to finally win it as an adult was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? It's cool to like look back being like, when I was a kid, like when I first started, I couldn't even medal at the under 16-year-old division, right? To then like winning it as an adult male, right? Like, and it took 10 years to do it. I think I could have done it a little bit quicker if it wasn't for injuries, COVID, etc. But like, the fact of the matter is that all those factors has happened, right? So to do it like 10 years later, it was like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean? It's just like a nice thing to be like, it's cool from where you started upon. Like, if I would have watched myself 10 years earlier, like, seeing that, I would have been like proud in that moment, right?
Yeah, that's pretty solid, bro.
So that, yeah, so I would say that for judo was cool. For personal training, as far as a trainer, like, it's an experience that I usually have, assuming the client's motivated. So it's like something that happened more than once.
Yeah.
But like oftentimes, and sometimes I'm not like this, but most of the times I try to get my clients like squatting, like stuff like that, deadlifting. But a lot of the times, obviously too, like you have a 70-year-old client or someone, and there's different levels to this, right? But it's like this one principle that makes me I don't know if principle is the right word, but this one thing that makes me happy is like I'll have a client that like they can't do a body weight squat, and then they're squatting 75 pounds. Or I have a client that's like not as bad shape, right? He's a bit younger, whatever. A 40-year-old that's squatting 100 pounds on the first day, and then 2 months or not 2 months usually, but like I'd say 4 or 5 months later, we're squatting like 240, 250 pounds, right? And it's like they never thought that they would do that, right? So like getting them whatever it is, whether it's a squat, a bench press, a leg extension, right? But getting them a number that they just never thought that they would be able to do, right? So that would be, I would say that like there's not one particular milestone, but I would say like there's been many, and each client that I have my own unique experience with them, but them hitting numbers that like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's like you getting them results or blowing by expectations, or are you getting them the results that they're actually looking for?
Yeah, but also like I had a client the other day. I'm working with him online now. He had like radiation therapy for like cancer, but he's stronger.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's fine though. He did like all the treatments, right? But he's stronger probably during the process than when we started, right? There's definitely levels to it. You can't do that with every single client, right? Like I feel like I don't know much about but there's definitely like a certain like type where it's like, but in this particular case, like this client's stronger than before he came in, right? So that's like that was a very cool thing for me to see, right? Like this client's going to continue to be stronger, right? Like at the age of 50, I'm sure with constant training we'll get to the point where we're deadlifting in the 400s maybe one day, right? Squatting the 300s, right? And whatever his goal chooses to be, whether he wants to focus on the barbell lifts or bodybuilding, but we'll get to them to the point of in general, like at a 55-year-old, you'll be stronger than most 20-year-olds walking, right? Like that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
So do you have any like specific philosophies that you do with like your clients or your programs, or how do you do it? What do you do? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'd say with beginning, this is what I would say. Like what I see when I see a client, it's like first you need to figure out like the fitness level, right? Because to me, in my opinion, and I'm sure you would agree with this too, but like training in the beginning is kind of simple, right? It's like getting someone who's super jacked, right? Like from like a 220, like 10% body fat from which I don't work with people like that, right? But like a 220 pound guy, and you want.
Do you have like a specific niche that you work with? I'm curious.
I train the people that show up. The people that show up are usually people that want to get stronger, that are middle to older.
But like if you were to say like, do you have an ideal client that you want to work with, or that you have an ideal niche that you prefer to work with?
I'd say that people that want to me, it's kind of like...
You can't fucking say motivation.
No, but like, I wouldn't want to... I don't work with like extreme bodybuilding. Like
no, I get that.
And I wouldn't work with like a competitive powerlifter.
And you wouldn't work with like a 50-year-old chick, right? Or you would?
No, I would.
Okay,
I would work with like, to answer your question, people that want to get stronger. Usually the people that just... Now this is by chance, but also I guess it's the niche that I built comfort in, is usually like middle-aged men.
Yeah.
40 to 50 to even 60 that are looking to get stronger.
Gotcha.
Stronger, right? Stronger, bigger, like look better too, right?
Yeah.
And then I would say that process, right? Like one of my 7-year-old clients, right? I no longer have him anymore, but he had a similar program to some of my 4-year-old clients, right? And based on like certain limitations, stuff has changed. But the biggest thing is the rate that we adapt at. So let's say that 40-year-old client or 45-year-old client, like we might add 10 pounds in the beginning of the week on the squat. For him, somebody like, and it was important for me to get this client, the 70-year-old client, to squat, because if he could squat, he could get out of a toilet seat efficiently, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I might not progress with the bar just yet. We got him to the point where he could do a bar, which was a big milestone for us. But It was like, okay, we're going to squat you to the box. Yeah. Let's lower the box. Yeah. Okay, now we're like, the range of motion is getting a bit more difficult. Let's add 5 pounds. Let's add 10 pounds. Okay, now let's get rid of the box, right? Now let's, you know what I mean? Now let's add 15 pounds, 20 pounds, right? 25 pounds.
Do anything with, like, mobility?
Yeah. Something I got bigger on, especially since I hurt my knee, Like I like the, like a lot of this is a famous guy, so I'll say like the knees over toes guy stuff. Like,
yeah.
but basically just to describe the principle, like stuff over a long range of motion.
Like prehab instead of rehab. You should be doing pre-rehabilitation before you even injured in the first place. Yeah.
So stuff over a long range of motion. The problem that I have with those programs,
extremes.
It's like, not that I think that like I really like his programs.
No, I don't think there's. I think there's certain things that he does that's just fucking weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah, but to me as a whole, like, I like all the stuff, but to me, like, I think, like, and this is my philosophy at least, it's like, he talks a lot about, like, having your knee strong over a long range of motion, and I think that's great.
Yes.
Right? Like you should do that, right? And that's something that I felt like I neglected a little bit in my own training.
Definitely.
That definitely, like, I always, like, squatted over long range, but I definitely feel like doing stuff at weird angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, like ankle over toe and
like
TKE.
this weird stuff, like your knees, like, internally rotating to the ground. Like, I do weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
But in judo, especially, like, I land in weird positions. But to me, and this is my opinion, it's like, and again, you don't need a squat to get that strength, but a 400-pound squatter is going to have strong knees, right? Like, they're going to have strong knees, and now let's train those strong knees over a long range of motion. But somebody that's just training their knees over a long range of motion won't necessarily, in my opinion, have, like, strong muscles, strong ligaments, because I just feel like, I don't know, I just, maybe I'm wrong for this, but I feel like a 400-pound squatter compared to someone that's just doing knees over toes lunges and stuff like that, they just won't, you can't load up the exercise that much. Right,
it depends on what the person's goal is, and like I guess like what they're trying to do with their ligaments.
But my thing would just be if someone wants to get stronger for life.
Yeah.
So that's what I say. I like to do like a mixture of powerlifting, and when I say powerlifting, not the sport of powerlifting where we're trying to maximize every pound that we lift, not the sport at all. I'm trying to get them strong in basic lifts, right? Like squat, bench, deadlift. And again, depending on the client's goals, I might modify. Yeah, most of the time I do a Romanian deadlift over a deadlift, right?
That's good though.
Yeah, but then I like to also combine a lot in the training, like that long range of motion stuff as well, right?
Gotcha. Okay, so that's pretty solid. You just basically do like functionality.
Yeah. And then some clients might be different, right? Like if they just want to like a goal of getting bigger, right? Like then I probably won't do
more hypertrophy.
So I might want to do the knee over toes guy stuff for that.
No, you should honestly. Most people neglect this shit, dog. Like you should. 100%.
I'll do maybe a bit, but I won't have as much of an emphasis.
Right? Yeah, no, you shouldn't emphasize it for sure.
Yeah, it would be a warm up. I wouldn't like load it every single week. Like it depends, right? Like I obviously you want your client to move.
And then do you do anything in terms of like I guess nutrition?
That's like the gray area for me. So I give advice, but I always I maybe like I know a lot of trainers are different than me, but I always felt like with nutrition, like I don't want the client to feel like I'm controlling their life, and I know trainers that do want that control, and I don't necessarily then clients liking that, right? So me, what I try to do is I just try to give them like a protein target and like a calorie range, like talk about like whole foods and stuff. Like I just give them some information, but I never give out programs.
Well, especially like I feel like, and this isn't to shit on you or any trainers, but technically if you're not qualified, if it's outside of your scope of practice, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like just because someone has a certification in NASM, CanFit, whatever, if you don't have the actual knowledge to possess with nutrition experience or expertise, you should not be giving out that information. What you're doing is 100% correct. There's nothing wrong with like giving someone fucking ranges, but to give someone a meal plan, that's kind of outside scope of practice or boundaries if you don't have the certain qualifications.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then too, like I don't know, me personally, like aside from just like knowledge and stuff like that, it's also like I feel like I'm a little bit too much involved in their lives.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So and I try to.
I guess that depends on exactly what someone's looking for, right? Like for me, like I don't necessarily want to take over someone's life, but again, I'm working with people that have to change. They're pretty much going to die.
Yeah.
So in certain aspects over the like time of our relationship, in a way, I have to control certain areas of their life. Otherwise, it's going to not lead to optimal results. Right. But it's okay if like, obviously if I had a 60-year-old client and we just work on functional strength. I've asked him like fucking, I don't know, I've had him for 5 years. I've asked him probably 30 times if he wants to do anything about nutrition. He's like, no. There was one time he was like, how do I lose the gut? I want to lose 20 pounds. I was like, track your macros. He was like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't force someone. Right. But no, that's solid in terms of nutrition. So, I don't know what else is there. We talked a lot about your judo. We talked about, I guess, is there any like maybe like specific skills or techniques that you would like suggest to anybody to learn or have in terms of that, or like for judo?
For judo, like I don't know how technical we want to get. Like, oh, like you should do this drill and that drill.
I don't know. Well, it'd be like fucking Chinese if you said it.
Yeah, exactly, right.
I don't know, just like bare bones, like, you know, I don't know, really. Like, from your experience, if there is like someone watching this, like that's through your following, right? And and maybe they're like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, they look up to you, or you're their like inspiration or whatever. What would you tell them? Like, what would you say to do?
Okay, so if let's say like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever is trying to get into, like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old trying to get into judo, I would tell them a couple things, right? The first thing that I kind of regret is just like general athletic development, meaning that like I would have emphasized playing other sports aside from just judo.
Facts.
So I would have played when I was like 12. I would have done probably not long distance running, but I would have done track and field. I would have played more basketball.
I remember track and field. I would skip school that day.
Same. I hated it.
I do this day. You need that ribbon.
But if you play like sports with me outside, like basketball, soccer, like I'm not good at all. I'm terrible, right?
Awful.
Yeah. So it's like I would have emphasized just general athletic development.
Well, because
right?
that's good. Like even what you said with the knees over toes guys. Like if you're a judo guy and you're putting your knee in different positions and angles and training that, your likelihood of injury is mitigated so much larger.
Yeah. Right. So I would emphasize not just the judo. I would emphasize playing other sports and developing a good athletic base.
Yeah, like stamina for track, or I think basketball. Honestly, like you don't need to
just
go
like things
pro.
with coordination, right? Yeah. Like explosive sports. Like the more the better, probably at a younger age. And like the Soviets,
at a younger age, but when you get older, like,
then you have to specialize. But the Soviets, that's what they did too, right? Like for their sports system, like for their sport like weightlifting, they would like specialize. I don't want to make up ages, but they'd specialize later in life. But in gymnastics, so like they would specialize at a very young age, right? So depending on like a sport like judo, probably you don't need to specialize till you could still practice a lot, but you don't need to specialize probably till you're 18, 17, maybe a little bit younger. Like I don't have the stat to give you the right age, but play sports when you're young. Play more than just judo when you're young. And then I would say too is like I could talk about like finding the right coach, yada yada, right?
No, not yada yada. I think that's very important.
But it's hard to find the right coach. But I would say
and that's the same thing with the fitness journey, right?
Yeah, it's hard. And then to be fair, I think there's not too many good coaches in judo.
Right? I don't think there's too many good coaches in general, in just the grand scheme of health and fitness. Whether that's judo, whether that's weight loss, whether in general, like it's a dime a dozen.
Yeah, there are good coaches. Don't get me wrong, but it's like just because there's a coach nearby you doesn't mean that
they're good. 100%.
Yeah, and that's usually the common factor. Like,
people are lazy, so they're just gonna go and fucking Google and be like.
But even if they're not, let's just say like the mom like has 4 jobs, right, and then they have to drop off the kid, they're gonna do the closest YMCA. But I would say
there's judo at YMCA.
Yeah, there's judo everywhere.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's like the odd YMCA has a judo program, right?
I didn't know that.
And maybe it's a great coach at the YMCA. My friend Greg from Saskatchewan's a coach at a YMCA, and he's awesome, right?
Interesting.
But you know what I mean? You might have a bad coach, but I would say that when you're just like 13, 14, 15, 16, like I would say focus on the journey, not like the results.
Yeah, so like the realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Focus on honing your craft.
Even more so because let's say like, okay, you're 16, you're like a male in 73 kilograms, you're not going to win the Olympics, but let's say your goal is to win the Cadet Nationals, so let's say you take last. Don't necessarily get caught up in the result. Get caught up in like the journey of getting better. Like when you're 16, 100%. It really doesn't matter what you like, as long as you're learning and you're getting better,
as long as you're improving.
And probably this sounds cringy, but having fun. Because if you're not having fun, you're gonna quit.
100%. But that goes with not just judo, but like anything. Yeah. But 100%.
Yeah. So that's what I would say. It's like don't get like wrapped up. Like don't get me wrong. Like take your training seriously, train hard. It's gonna suck when you lose, and you should be mad when you lose if you're training hard. But just note that like this is just one tiny little speck on like a big journey, right? So if you're gonna if you beat yourself up too much for that, right, or you let it get to you, then you're not gonna last long. And the game is about lasting long, right? Like I think especially for a sport like judo, or really in life, right? Like if you stick it out, the chances are you'll have time to mature and get better, right? Like especially if you think about your training, you think about judo, right? You'll have chances to you'll have chances to with time, with maturity, you'll just get better. So if you're don't beat yourself up too much in the beginning. You'll be mad at yourself, and that's fine. It's okay, but just don't. There's limits, right? Like don't consider yourself a failure. Don't say I have to quit now. You know what I mean? Stick in the game. Try to get better. Just focus on your improvement. Don't get caught up in the results.
That's solid.
Play
solid
sports too.
Advice.
Get good at sports in general, so you're a good athlete.
Don't fail in school.
Yeah. Random stuff like that.
Maybe don't do special ed. You want to talk about school for a bit? I'm actually curious because there was obviously a big gap, right? We were both in special ed. I'm proud special edder. But for you, how did you find high school? Was it a big adjustment period in terms of education or
It's easy.
Really?
I don't know, dude. It was
I found it very difficult.
It's just because it wasn't your thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's no fucking
if you wanted
shit.
to, if you wanted it to be, if it was your thing, you would have done fine in it, right? Like you have the general intelligence, right?
Debatable. Not the way they teach in traditional high schools. It's just not.
Yeah, but if you wanted to be good at the course, you would be good at a course. If you studied by yourself.
Yeah, if I really gave a shit, you're right. Yeah. But there's nothing that in high school I could give two fucks.
There you go. So that's what it comes down to. So you didn't care about it, right?
That's true.
But yeah, it's the same thing with I think a lot of people. If they care about a course, they do well in it. If they care about their school, their job, they do good. If they don't care about it, they hate it, right? They'll do bad.
So I guess what are your goals? What do you? I guess break down your next 4 years. What's the ideal? What's the best outcome? You're gonna do the Europes right soon.
Yeah, so hopefully all that goes well. A couple of things coming up. I actually can't talk about it, but hopefully it goes well.
Sponsors or just tournaments or
sponsors that actually is happening, but
That's
not as much as the stuff. Whatever, I'll tell you. Not hopefully it just goes well, right? But
okay, you don't want to jinx anything. That's cool, bro.
But let's see. So yeah, I would say my goals for the next 4 years is obviously one step at a time. But I would love to be in the Olympics 4 years from now, right? But yeah, my goal I would just say is just to build up really my coaching platform too, right? I would love to have my own school at the end of the day.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
I would love to. So just in general, just keep on.
Where would you put it? Toronto, Texas, Montreal?
If I could go to U.S., man, it doesn't make sense to do it here.
Really? You would do it in Texas?
I don't know about Texas, but somewhere in the U.S.
Take me with you.
I love Utah.
Fuck Utah.
I love Utah, man.
Interesting.
But who knows? Who knows when the time comes? But my goal would just
go to the Olympics first.
Yeah. My goal is just to build up my social media, build up my clientele,
in
all aspects of my personal training. I would love to get my black belt in jiu-jitsu too.
Sick, dude.
Right, and yeah, hopefully 4 years from now, complete that. I guess childhood goal of going to the Olympics and then having my own gym. I'd want it more than just judo. I'd want to have a martial arts gym with personal training as well. And
that's fucking solid.
But that's the direction that I'm heading in.
No, that's sick, dude. So, I guess what would you say? Do you have any top recommendations for people that you've been around the block, to improve their health and fitness, or what would you say is common misconceptions?
I don't know if this was I'll say it's something that was said to me in judo that I do think I've used with clients, and I think it's good advice, but. When I first hurt my shoulder, I was talking to my coach, and I'm like, dude, I can't, I don't want to do judo right now. My body, I wasn't even just my shoulder. I tore a muscle in my hamstring at the time. I don't know if I tore completely, but it was it was bad. It hurt to walk.
Why are you so injury fucking prone?
It was a weird 6 months. It was a weird. I don't think I'm injury prone, right? I have a terrible shoulder, but dude, that ACL, that knee injury, I healed in 3 months. It took me 5 months to find back my rhythm, but 3 months, torn ACL, second degree. I heal quick, but that was just a weird stint. I don't know why. But jiu-jitsu, I wasn't getting injured, right? Because the sport's a lot easier on the body. Just tap on time, you're fine. That's kind of not true, but it's a lot easier than judo on the body. That's 100% true. But I told him, I'm like, listen, like, I don't know how much judo I want to do. Like, I want to just do jiu-jitsu right now. And he, like, but I was kind of, like, angry at myself for, like, stopping judo, right? My coach told me, he's like, Solomon, like, you're always, like, 100 or you're 0. Meaning, like, you have in mind that you have to train, like, 6 days a week and then, like, work out 3 times a week. If not, like, 8 times a week, you have to train, right? And he's like, it's either, like, 100 or it's 0. He's like, go to Toronto if you want to go to Toronto. Like, as I was talking about moving, I was in Montreal at the time. I was talking about moving back home, which I ended up doing. He's like, if you want to take a break from judo, take a break from judo. But he's like, also, it's okay if you want to just do judo like 2-3 times a week. You don't have to do it 6 times a week. Just do it 2 times a week. And then if you feel like you want to come back to it, then come back, right? And that's exactly how I got back into judo, because I was out for the sport for around 2 years, and it wasn't like it was all I was training before that. Then before there was COVID, right? So really, it was like closer to 4 or 5 years, right? I trained like with a little stint here and there, but I would say for someone like trying to just be healthier in general, it's like I feel like a lot of time people are like, I can't have one candy bar ever. I can't, like, if I miss like a workout, or like if I miss one lift, like I don't do my best, like it's 100 or nothing. It's like, go for that walk. You know what I mean? Okay, you don't have time to go to the gym today. That doesn't mean you don't binge eat, right? Like, you don't have to binge eat because you're not getting that workout in. Go for a walk instead, right? And then it's like, when you, like, you have a birthday dinner or something like that, it's like, and you feel like your whole life is being controlled. It's like, you could go out for your friend's birthday, but maybe, like, don't eat as much during the day to go to it, right? And, like, control yourself. You can have a slice of cake sometime. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every single day you have to be lenient. You need some discipline. But it's like, you don't need to be 100% every single day. Like,
well, it's just gonna basically yield to burnout, and you to quit.
And it's a game of lasting. The fitness journey is a game of lasting. The judo journey is a game of lasting, right? Like, some people, they're lucky. They're very good at 16, 17. They're studs. But most people, they're not that good at 16. They're not that good at 17. You have to make it till you're 22, 23, 24. Right? So you need to figure out like what the right what the right amount of work is, and obviously, like, that can be used as an excuse to be lazy. But it's like, you're a 55-year-old guy. You don't need to train 6 times a week. You know what I mean? You don't need to train 5 times a week, right? You can only train 2 times a week, but maybe you could go on walks the other day.
Yeah, but that's better than nothing.
Yeah. Let's say the optimal amount of for training for you is 4 days a week, right? But it's like, you have kids, you have a family, you work, you're a CEO at a company, whatever it is. It's like, let's calm down a bit, right? Let's work out those 2 days a week that you can. Let's walk those other days.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a slogan that I like from the show Survivor: outwit, outlast, outplay.
That's a great clue, yeah.
So it's like, it's literally like a matter of survival. And I mean, that sounds drastic, but I mean, when it comes to business, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to judo, it's literally like, the one who lasts the longest typically triumphs, right? They typically yield, because not only are you outlasting all the people that quit and give up, but you're building and stacking blocks and getting better and getting better and getting better and getting better. And you're getting more knowledge, and you're getting more experience, and you're getting all this shit. And then it compounds, right? It's like a compound interest effect, right? So that's really solid advice.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And a lot of it goes hand in hand with, like, everything. Is there any, I guess, behind the scenes funny stories you want to mention when we were younger?
This is a great story. I read that part of the thing.
Yeah.
So, in French class, remember how we didn't have to do French class?
Miss Mademoiselle.
I think it was Miss Mademoiselle. I forgot her name.
I forget her last name. It was Mademoiselle. Like, it started with a T.
Was it
La Flamme? La Flamme.
I got it right?
Yeah, La Flamme.
Mademoiselle is something in French. It's like the name.
Yeah, it's like Miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's her,
so it was Mademoiselle La Flamme.
Okay. So remember how we were on the computers?
Yeah.
So I'm like playing a game.
So wait, I just need to give a bit of context. So for most people that are wondering what the fuck are we talking about, like, Saul and I were in elementary school. We were both in special ed, and for whatever reason, because we were in special ed, we were not required to do French. And so you don't have to take French, I think, after elementary school, at least where we are in our province and the curriculum where it is. Once you're in high school, it's optional. But you had to do it up until grade 8. And then because we were special ed, we did not have to do it. So we would literally sit in the back of the class playing games on our computer. Now go on with your story.
Yeah, so what's it called? We're in class.
Yes, Miss Mademoiselle Laflamme.
Yeah. And I'm playing like a game, and like you just started like putting your hand on my computer for no reason. Like you're just trying to like mess with me, right? And like I'm playing like probably Block Store or like Cube Field.
We're on mini clip all the time.
Yeah, something like that, right? Cube Field, maybe the Crazy Taxi, and you're just like trying to mess me up. And like it's getting annoying, and I'm like, dude, like piss off, man. And then like you like eventually you stop, you go back to your game, and you start playing. So I see you, and I'm like, I start like screwing around with your computer. You're like, Solomon, like stop, like fuck off, and I'm like, but I don't stop. And then you just punch me in the face. You just like straight up punched me, and I didn't even hit you.
Yeah.
I didn't even like do anything. I just like looked at you, and I'm like, Adam, why did you do that? Like, why did you punch me? And you're like, I don't know. And then the teacher, like, she sees us, so she sends us down to the principal.
Oh, that's so
right? She sends us down to like the principal office, and I'm like the whole time, like, Adam, now we're in detention. Why did he have to do that? And I just like remember you saying to the principal, it's like, I don't know, I just got mad. He was touching my computer, and I punched him. And I'm like, dude, you did the exact same thing to me, but I didn't punch you. And then we had to spend the whole recess together. Yeah. But to be fair, it wasn't actually that bad. We just chilled that recess.
We just chilled. I mean, yeah. I mean, that seems like something I would do when I was younger. I mean, honestly, it's just the quick impulsive decisions that I was really bad at.
Like, you just punched me for no reason. I did.
Hey! It wasn't no reason. You touched my shit.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like again, maturity, right? If I didn't touch your shit, you probably wouldn't have touched my shit, and then I wouldn't have punched you in the face.
I wouldn't have.
But see, my brain at that time was so fucked because I was like, "Well, you touched my shit, so I'm gonna punch you in the face." But you only did it. Okay, granted, maybe you shouldn't have touched my shit, right? But it was tick for tack, right? Yes. So I got it.
In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have. I should have just let it.
Apologize, Sullivan.
I'm sorry. Can you apologize for punching me straight in the face? I did nothing too.
Yeah,
I didn't hit you back. I didn't yell at you. I'm just
you looked in shock.
I'm just like, dude. Like, look, because now you're the teacher yelling, and we have to go back.
And then I remember, the Miss Cauliflower, I called her the principal, and she was like, "Why are you here? Why did you do now?"
Well, no, there's another principal. We had like Miss Sneath. She was really nice though.
Oh, maybe Sneath was after Cauliflower, I think, right?
Yeah, I think Miss Cauliflower.
But yeah, no, that seems like something I would say. I don't know. He touched my computer, so I punched him in the face.
I mean,
I'm surprised I didn't get suspended for that. I got suspended like fucking 40 times then.
No, that we were. They saw that you didn't mean to, like, that we're like.
It was just a reaction.
Yeah, so then, like, we were like hanging out, just talking after, like,
that was fucking
we were like sitting next to each other too. It wasn't like they had to keep us separated.
Nah, that's funny, dude.
Yeah, we didn't get sent home for that. We just had to like stay in for recess.
Nah, those were good times back in the day.
Yeah.
And then you grow older, and then shit happens, and then you work with former teachers that you had, and they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that on the pod.
I don't give a fuck. What is he gonna do? Sue me? I didn't mention any names. But,
no, I get it.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a piece of shit. I would just say he's a principal without principles, and I lost a lot of respect for him. But I'll leave it at that and not go into more details. What's the likelihood of him fucking watching this? Like, what, 0. Probably, I don't even know. But
yeah,
whatever. It's not worth divulging. But what I just mentioned, people could put 2 to 2 together. But whatever. Well, I guess, is there anything else that we haven't touched about that you want to mention? Want to ask? Want to go over?
I just want to say thank you for coming on my podcast.
Yeah, it's my fucking podcast. That's my fucking face over there, bud. But hopefully you get. I mean, if you launch your own, like, I definitely come on. I don't know, man. I think this was actually pretty solid, like, especially for people to learn from your perspective, where you're at and what you're doing and your analogies or philosophies.
Yeah, I'll say this one thing. It's like, I don't want to say like it's not hard, because it is hard, but it's like, training's more simple than I think most people think. And like like if you have a couple principles right,
yeah,
and it's just a matter of doing it, you'll be like pretty surprised on what you could achieve, right? Like, and that goes with nutrition too. It's like, you could still, it's not like you could only eat broccoli for the rest of your life, right? Like broccoli and chicken and rice.
No,
it's like,
people overcomplicate shit.
Yeah.
Bro. And then they jump to extremes, and then they go from diet to diet to diet to diet,
yeah,
and then they're wondering why they never get any results.
Yeah,
you're fundamentally correct.
Yeah.
If you, like, everybody overcomplicates shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you just start small and you build gradually, it's perfect. It's the same thing with training.
It's more simple. Like, you don't need, like, people go on, like, this was different, man. But like, I did this with like training when I was younger, like for athletics, right? Like somebody else might have a different experience for bodybuilding or something like that, right? Like, but for me with athletics, like I see this like coach, and I'm like, you have to get this rotational angle, and if this doesn't have this specificity from this particular, like, and you get so caught up, and then like, what I realized is like, dude, if I get like really strong with like basic lifts, and don't get me wrong, I do some weird lifts too, but if I get strong, right, I'm gonna be strong for judo, right? And in the context of like someone like starting out, it's like you don't need to do this crazy lift or like this crazy angle. Maybe it makes sense, don't get me wrong, but it's like if you just go to the gym, like that's the last 10%. The 90% is just finding a good exercise, right? Like you want to grow your butt, a Romanian deadlift's perfect. Maybe there's another exercise you could do, but like just a basic exercise and figure out a way to progress it, right? And like with eating, it's like you can still enjoy your cupcakes and whatever you like to eat, but it's like you just might have to limit it a bit, but you don't have to take it out completely.
Or make healthier substitutions or alternatives, but then there's different strokes for different folks. Like there's different avenues.
Yeah, so it's like, again, like I guess this gets repetitive, but it's not 0 to 100. It's just a matter of it's a matter of doing it, following a couple principles, right? Like you need some overload in your training, some specificity, but it's definitely not rocket science.
I mean, no, but people need to hear it, and honestly, start yesterday. And that's why the point of the podcast is that like they people overcomplicate shit, and they need to just start fucking take action and just start yesterday. So to quote Sean Evans, I like to end every episode like this. You have that camera, and that camera. That's your hard camera. Let the people know what you got going on.
In terms of
bro, like it's an open-ended question. Why does everybody ask me that? Like plug your shit. Like it's an open-ended question. Like let the people know what you got going on. Plug your shit. Like follow. It's a call to action, basically. Like
yeah, fair enough. All right, guys. If you want, you can follow me on my podcast to start yesterday, but also you can follow me on Instagram at Solomon Choran. Yeah, like that I would say honestly is probably the best way to reach me. Should probably get on other social media as well. Maybe
like TikTok and YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's the only thing that's relevant.
Yeah, so I definitely should do more. But yeah, if you guys want to like follow up, whether it's like trying to get involved like with privates or personal training, or you just simply have a question, I don't mind answering anything. So just follow me on Instagram, shoot me a message.
There we go. Well, for anybody still watching this, if you're on Spotify, I appreciate that. Please leave a review if you listened to 3 episodes before. I think that's the requirement. This is Apple Podcasts. No idea how that works. And if this is on YouTube, please do the algorithm stuff. Do the likes. One like goes a long way. Subscribe for more. And if there's any questions you have from this episode, drop a comment below. And if you have any questions in general, I would love to do a Q&A episode in the near future. So drop a question below. I'll make a pile. And I guess that leaves it for today. I appreciate you watching or listening, or I guess both. And I guess we'll see you and hear you in the next one.